Most people learn that the steam engine was invented in the 1700s by men like Newcomen and Watt, kicking off the Industrial Revolution. That's the textbook version, and it's not entirely wrong. But almost 700 years earlier, in Roman Egypt, a working steam engine already existed. It spun on its own, powered by nothing but boiling water. And then, for over 1,000 years, it just sat there. Nobody used it for anything real. By the end of this, that gap is going to feel a lot stranger than it sounds right now. The device is called the Aeolipile, usually credited to Heron of Alexandria, a mathematician and engineer working in the 1st century AD at the Museum of Alexandria, one of the ancient world's great centers of learning. The design is almost deceptively simple. A cauldron of water sits over a fire. Steam rises through pipes into a hollow metal sphere mounted above it. That sphere has 2 or more bent tubes along its middle, angled the same direction. As pressure builds and steam escapes through those tubes, the reaction force spins the sphere fast enough to genuinely surprise anyone watching it for the first time. Heron documented it in a book called Pneumatica, alongside dozens of other inventions: vending machines, automatic temple doors, a fire engine. This wasn't some isolated curiosity sitting in a corner of history. It was one entry in an entire catalog of mechanical ingenuity most people have never heard of. Here's the part that changes the whole story. Heron didn't invent the Aeolipile. A Roman writer named Vitruvius described essentially the same device about 100 years before Heron was even born. Sit with that for a second. Multiple people, across at least a century, understood this idea well enough to write it down and build it. And it still went nowhere. Mostly spectacle. Historians believe it was likely built to impress visitors at Roman temples, a way of showing off mechanical principles. A few later adaptations found small practical roles, powering sound effects in a hydraulic organ, or blowing air onto forge fires to intensify heat. There's no strong evidence it was ever scaled up for real industrial work, pumping water, grinding grain, anything close to that scale. It stayed a curiosity people built for show, never for labor. Why didn't a civilization capable of aqueducts, road networks, and concrete that still survives today take this any further? The honest answer isn't especially romantic. It comes down to 2 things. First, economics. Rome ran on slave labor, cheap, abundant, and already woven into nearly every part of the economy. There was no urgent problem a steam-powered machine would have solved better than simply acquiring more workers. Second, and this is the part that's easy to miss, physics. Heron's design was deeply inefficient. Most of the heat escaped as wasted steam rather than useful motion. Turning this into something capable of real work would have required pistons, cylinders, tight seals, and metal strong enough to withstand sustained pressure without failing. Spinning a sphere for show is one problem. Building a machine that runs reliably for hours under continuous pressure is an entirely different one, and 1st century metallurgy probably wasn't there yet. The gap becomes clearer when you look at what eventually did happen. In 1577, an Ottoman scholar named Taqi al-Din described a steam turbine strikingly similar in principle to Heron's, still largely theoretical. It took until the early 1700s for Thomas Savery, and later Thomas Newcomen, to build steam-powered pumps that actually worked at scale, designed to clear water from flooded coal mines. What made the difference wasn't a smarter idea than Heron's. It was an urgent, expensive problem that mine owners badly needed solved, combined with over 1,000 additional years of progress in metallurgy and precision manufacturing. Here's the number worth sitting with. The gap between Heron's design and a genuinely useful steam engine wasn't decades. It was roughly 700 years, almost the same distance as from Heron's time to right now. Heron had the idea. So did Vitruvius before him. That was never the hard part. What neither of them had was a problem urgent enough to justify solving, or the materials to actually build a lasting solution. Somewhere out there right now, Someone's probably sitting on the next version of this, an idea that already works, just waiting for the world to need it badly enough to bother. If you can think of one, drop it in the comments. I'd genuinely like to see what people come up with. I'm Scout, and this has been Forgotten Engineering. If stories like this interest you, ideas that were right long before anyone knew what to do with them, subscribe. There are more of them buried in history than most people realize, and I'm digging up a new one every week.